Hello, brothers and sisters. Michael, humble seeker of truth, for Rapture and Apocalypse, crossing the Jordan. We're going to be figuratively crossing the Jordan very soon. And thanks to Brother Paul, Father has given us some more diamonds. Our brother Joshua at the Jordan River with the Israelites. And we're going to take a look at that and see, does it hold the same message? So we're going to review just a bit of some highlights that we've covered in the last couple videos. And we're going to then add to it. I am fatigued this morning. So I apologize if I'm a little lethargic. So, review. Number 195 in Strong's is exactness. Number 196 is exact. So, in Psalm 19:5, we see the son is as a bridegroom and as a strong man, making the bridegroom as a strong man. Strong, 72:21. In the division of that simple gematria is at the full circle. It's beautiful. Israel is 72 in this year, 2021. Psalm 19:6. Of it, talking about the sun, and there is nothing hid from it, hid, used 72 times. Okay, its circuit is half a phi. Okay, and we covered that stuff. We looked at Psalm 113:2. Blessed is the name of the Lord from this time forth and forevermore. And we saw this breakdown. It's 272 times ever. It's 72 either way coming out from the river. 27 going into the river, which is beloved or beloved. Second use is everlasting. It's 63 times. Genesis 6:3 pins 4:10. Other is 104 times pinning 4:10. From here and evermore. Forevermore, the very next words are then from the rising of the sun. From the rising is 42:17, because it is exactly 42 months and 17 days from the great sign of Revelation 12, verse 195, exactness of Revelation, by the way. Okay. From the rising, 42:17. From that sign, it's 42 months and 17 days to 4:10. Okay. Of the sun is number 8121, pinning both calendars, Hebrew year 5781, Gregorian year 2021. From the rising of the sun. His name will be blessed and glorified forevermore. From when? We just saw from when. We just saw, I think, from exactly when. Exactness. We'll know when we know. Has he marked it out for a different reason? Maybe. I don't think so, but I've felt that way before. So this seems different to me, as I keep stating. But we will see. Let's take our Bibles. This is a Bible study. And let's go to Joshua. Okay, Joshua's back here somewhere right before Judges. Let's go to chapter 3. I'm going to show you guys some cool stuff. Thanks so much, Brother Paul. He's like, yeah, I think you should go check that out. There might be a diamond there. Wait till you see what we found. Joshua 3. Joshua chapter 3, by the way, is the 190th chapter of the Bible. Strong's number 190 is follow me. Our Lord's words. Follow me. Follow me, I'll make you fishers of men. And follow me at the end of the family fishing trip at the end of John 21. Follow me home. So, it's the 190th chapter. I found that interesting. It's follow me at the river is what it is. And so it's 190, which is follow me. It's 100, which is the division of the 100 sheep. And the 100th day is 410. And 90 is the river. So where are we here? This is an ordered communication, if I've said that once or twice. Every word, every number placed by the only being that could do it, the creator of heaven and earth, Yahweh, the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. My God and Father. Okay, verse 7, and the Lord said unto Joshua, this day, I love that, this day will I begin to magnify thee in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that as I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. This day will I begin. Is number 2490. 24, behold the hand, behold the nail. It's also when Christ goes to get the 99 sheep at the river. It's used 141 times, which, as we've talked about before, I can add these zeros without changing the value of this numerically. It's still 141 times. Is that a stretch? Not if it's 410, it ain't. Otherwise, maybe. We'll know when we know. Worthy of note, I would add. It's begin, profane, pollute, and defile 120 times. Genesis 6:3, pinning 4:10. 20 years and 100 days. Okay? Pins 410. Other is 21 times, because it's when it's in the year 2021. Same message so far. To magnify. This day I will begin to magnify is 1431. Well, so what? Well, it's 115 times. It's 43 in 11. 11 is Abraham. It's also Abaddon, but here we're talking Abraham. It will begin to magnify. It's 43 in 11. Number 43, okay, because it's also, let me break this down. It's 32 times magnify. It's great and grow 40 times. Because again, we're looking at exactness. And no, I know we're not in verse 195, but it is so exacting. 3:2 is the 100 days divided by 5. It isn't just a year later on 3:2. It's the 100 days divided on 5 and a 40-day warning. And it's 43 and 11 and other 43 times, because 43 is my father gathers. Remember 23, my father has gathered? Because all the sheep are home at that time in 2023. But here, number 43, my father gathers. It's exactly what we're talking about. It's beautiful. Oh, a father that gathers. 3 times, by the way. Oh, imagine that. First fruits, main harvest, corners and gleanings. Oh, this gets better. If you're bored, I hope you're not. Not that fast, anyway. Usually takes me at least 12 minutes to bore people. All right, Joshua 4:9. 4:9. That's the day before 4:10. And Joshua set up 12 stones in the midst of Jordan, in the place where the feet of the priests which bear the ark of the covenant stood, and they are there unto this day. That's important. That's an important little detail. I'll tell you why in a minute. At least it is in my mind. In the midst. Now we know that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the day of the Lord, the river, the midst. In the midst, in the place where the feet. Oh, feet is 72 because while Israel is 72, the sheep are getting divided, as is darkness and light. The feet of the priests. The priests. You know, there's a Strong's note that sends us to Revelation 20 here. I think verse 12. The rule and reign, 1,000 years. The priests. Okay? It's 750 times. It's 75. Okay, Abraham, Genesis 12:4, and Abram was 75. All sheep are home in 2023 when Israel's 75. And it's full circle, or 50 the backside of 5. So the feet of the priests bear up the ark, 727, it's 72. Either way you come in, it's the same thing as this, it's just written differently. Ark, by the way, is used 195 exactness times. Oh yeah, it's 195 days, by the way, from the Day of Atonement in 2020 to 410. Ark, 195. Okay. Joshua 4:10. For the priests which bear the ark stood in the midst of the Jordan until everything was finished, that the Lord commanded Joshua to speak unto the people, according to all that Moses commanded Joshua, and the people hasted and passed over. That's 410. Until everything. That's number 1697. It's 6 in 197. Okay, 6 is the Vav. 197 is more perfectly. So 195 exactness. 196 exact. 197 more perfectly. More perfectly. All right. It's word 807, thing 231 for a total of 1038 for those two, the first two uses. Sorry for my writing being small. That's 03 and 18, okay? Because we're talking about everything. What is everything? It's 3 Vavs. First fruits, main harvest, corners and gleanings. That's the 18. The 6 is the Vav. It's O, full circle, 3 in 18. Okay? Talking everything. Now we're going to break it down, though, and get specific. Matter 63 times. There's our Genesis 6:3. 21 plus 21 plus 21, for the emphasis of that. And 21 and 42. Okay? Acts 51 times, because we're talking about the wall, or walls, and where they come together. We're also talking about Michael, who stands on the river, stands up at the river. 51 is Michael. Simple gematria. Chronicles 38, saying 25, that is also 63. Emphasis much? So talking everything, now we're getting specific. Commandment 20 times, which would give us 83, which is Israel's age, I think, when the lost sheep go home. I'm a little muddy. Israel 74 to 75. They stand up against wickedness and they get gathered. But I know this, by when Israel is 75 in 2023, by the close of that, all sheep are home. It's miscellaneous 204 times. Okay? Just in case you don't catch it, let me point this out. In Joshua 4:9, they're on the river, okay, and they're taking the ark, which is used 195 times. It's 195 days from the Day of Atonement 2020 to 410. We go a verse later until everything, it's the next words, I think, well, not since ark. Okay? And we have this miscellaneous 204 after this. It's 204 days from the Feast of Trumpets. To 410. My mind is working a little slow. Oh, I have it written over here. How about that? If you can see it. Okay. We've looked at that 204 divided by 365, and it's 55.89, which is the river. 0, full circle, 410, 410. Now, if you haven't said wow yet, personally, I have a few times in my head. I think this might do it. Okay, we just left verse 410, where they hasted and passed over. Look, you remember the 42 and 17? Because if we're talking about exactness still, there might be a reference to that as much as Father uses it. Oh, there might be one or two. Once again, Joshua 3 is chapter 190. We talked about that. So, to get to chapter 3, okay, which brings us to the river. Okay? It's 42 verses. Chapter 1 and 2 is 42 verses. Chapter 3 is 17. And it brings us to Joshua 4 1.0. Yeah. Wow. Wow, Father. Oh, in verse 17, 3:17, okay, because he patterns this. He'll say something super significant, and then he'll say it again, and he'll put it over here, and it's the coolest thing. I'll show you an example. 3:17. So this is 42 and 17 to get us to the river. Chapter 4. Verse 17 then, we're to the river. 42 months and 17 days. Joshua 3:17. And the priests that bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood firm on dry ground in the midst of Jordan. And all the Israelites passed over on dry ground until all the people were passed clean over Jordan. We could have read that one first and then got to 4:10 and saw he says it again. It's where he says it. It's huge. It's huge. Wow! It's just amazing. It's just absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. The ark, again, there's our exactness, stood 5975, 521 times. That's 52, which is heirs, the head and body of Christ. 21 for 2021, and it's 2 in 51 because it's where the two walls meet is the river. Firm 3551, 219 times. I put that in there for a reason. I stayed in a hotel and it's room number 219. Prepare and establish 143. There's our 100. And the 43, a father that gathers. Then we have ready 17 times and 13 words that equal 42 times. And we have 42:17 again. And then miscellaneous 17, 17 on either side of the 42 for emphasis. That is in Joshua 3:17, which is 42 and 17 verses. And the people passed clean over Jordan. Wow. Wow. On dry ground is number 2724. It's 72 in 24. In the midst. Joshua 4:2. We're not quite done with this. Take you 12 men out of the people, out of every tribe of man, and command you them, saying, take you hence out of the midst of the Jordan, out of the place where the priest's feet stood firm, 12 stones, and you shall carry them over with you, and leave them in the lodging place where you lodged this night. If we keep reading, we will see that that word 12 is used 6 times between 4:2 and 4:20, emphasizing the 4:2. Okay? 6 times 12 is 72. Feet, 72, 72. What's Israel's age? So 6 times 12 is 72, bringing us to 420. And those 12 stones which they took out of Jordan, and Joshua did pitch in Gilgal. Verse 21. And he spake unto the children of Israel, saying, when your children shall ask their fathers in time to come. That's now. Any time before now too, but it's also now. Saying, what mean these stones? He puts the question in verse 21 because the stones speak to 2021 when Israel's 72. What mean these stones? You know, he could have, and it is just as accurate to say because we know what stones he's talking about. He could have said, what mean these 12 stones? That is literally the meaning of his question. What mean these 12 stones? We'll see. Father makes a point in a couple verses. It isn't just a message for then. It's a message for a time to come. And that would be now, clearly. Okay? In time to come. Well, we've added it since then. I mean, this is way back Old Testament. Father's added some stuff. He's added a whole Greek section of the New Testament and a whole nother word or number for 12. And it's in the time to come. And so we can absolutely gather the wisdom from that number as well, as we have been the last couple videos. So Joshua 42 and 21, in time to come. It's number 4279 again. What time are we talking about? Oh, this time of 42 months. Okay? When Israel is 72 in 2021. Saying 559, number 55, divine order, 5,308 times. Okay? Father and the family, a new beginning. Said and speak is 50-53. Okay? It's Phi and Father and family. Then we have answer 99, 4 words equal 72, and the miscellaneous is 84, because 99 sheep go home when Israel is 72, and the lost sheep go home Hebrew year 5, 7, 8, 4, or they are home by then. $12 stones. What mean these 12 stones? Well, it's number 8147. We're in Hebrew year 5781. 12 is 105 times. Day after 104? 105th day? I don't know. 12th, 21 times. Okay? But in time to come. So we can look and consider the Greek word, which is 1427. It's used 72 times, and it is 42 in 17. Okay? What mean these 12 stones? Does he cover it? Yeah, we've covered it a bunch. Okay? So now we have 12 stones. We have 12 hours in the day when he's going to go resurrect Lazarus. We have in Mark 5:42, Talitha Kumi, which is to say, damsel, arise. And she was 12. Sign of Revelation 12 that ties to the 42:17, a crown of 12 stars. What mean these 12 stones? So either Father put it in my head or it popped in there, but go look at number 6261. And the thought with it was 6-2 is 3-2-20. Day marked on 5 was the 62nd day of the year. A year later, okay, the division of the 100 days, 6-1. 3-2 is the 61st day. So we have these markers. We got the 62nd day last year, the 61st day this year, and a 40-day warning, I believe, which brings us to 410. So what's number 6261? Would it seem to bring us to the river? Well, it's used one time. It's in Leviticus 16:21. Let's go take a look. understanding that in Daniel 12, where Father says 1,290 days and 1,335 days. If you've been following along, we know when we look at that in years, which needs must be, that's Daniel 9, the premise of Daniel 9, a day equals a year. So that's our starting place for Daniel 12. And we see the fulfillment to or through 2020. Okay, in days, we then add them together in days, because we learn from the application of the years. And it's 2,625 days divided on phi, 1.618033 for this application. It's 1,622 days and 1,003 days, which pins 3/2/20. Sorry. So, understanding that figuratively then, 1621, okay, so 1622 over here. Here's that calculation. This would then figuratively bring us to the river. Now we know we're well past that. This is a sign of his coming and a sign and part of patterning. But figuratively, it brings us to the river, so we know we're right up against the river here, and we have this 21. So this becomes consistent with this. Okay? In the figure, we're up against the river. What's the verse? And Aaron shall lay both his hands upon the head of the live goat, and confess over him all the iniquities of the children of Israel, and all their transgressions, and all their sins. And each one of those numbers, if you look at that, highlights either 84 or 23 for the culmination of that. Transgressions, iniquities, sins, all three of them. Okay. And Aaron shall lay both his hands upon the head of the live goat and confess over him all the iniquities of the children of Israel and all their transgressions and all their sins, putting them upon the head of the goat, and shall send him away by the hand of a fit man into the wilderness. That fit man that's an interesting word. It's the only place, that is number 6261. Fit man, or fit. Its literal meaning, according to Strong's, is timely and ready. A timely, ready man. Interesting. Okay, the head is 7218. Israel is 72 in 2021. And 18, both are coming. When Israel's 72 in 2021. First place it's used is Genesis 2:10, 21:0. 2021, full circle. Of the goat is 81:63, 57:81, and here's Genesis 6:3, or the 63, 321s. And send him away by the hand is 30:27. It's used 1,615 times. Our dear sister Clean just referenced this word in a confirmation Father gave her of the dream regarding the 42:24. Beautiful confirmation. 1,615 times. Hand is 1,359. But then we have by 44, which is the mercy seat. Consecrate 14, hymn 14, and that is 72. Other 184. By the hand of a timely, ready man. I thought that was an interesting figure. Oh, and the goat, which is that 8163. Okay. It's goat 24 times. First use is Genesis 27:11. That's 71 in 21. Okay. Second use is Genesis 27:23. That's 72 in 23. Okay. We're going to close with this. So Leviticus 16:21 is at the river, figuratively. What about 1 Kings 6:21? That's 16:21. And yes, it is figuratively at the river. Let's read it. So Solomon overlaid the house, that's the temple, within with pure gold, and he made a partition by the chains of gold before the article, and he overlaid it with gold. This is the 200th verse of 1 Kings. Why does that matter? Because it ties... That was an accident. It ties to the pillars in the next chapter, verse 21 and 22. And the pillars are finished, verse 22, 1 Kings 7. So this is, and there's 200 pomegranates on each pillar. 613 seeds in a pomegranate. 613 is hidden wisdom. So 200th verse 21. So Solomon overlaid the house within with pure gold, and he made a partition by the chains. So by the chains, he made a partition. What chains? And let me show you something. First of all, let's look at the word house, okay? Because that's temple. It's 1004. You remember what we just looked at, the 1622 and the 1003? Well, the 1004 then would represent the next day, all sheep are home and temple's complete. The believers are the true temple. So house 1004, oh, well, let's start with just, we got 100 right here and Jesus Christ. 100 days is 410. 10th day of the 4th month. We also have full circle in 104. 10th day of the 4th month. It's 2,055 times, suggesting that I'm going to leave that right now. House is 1,881 times. Number 188. So we have 188 coming this way, 188 going that way. 188 is at the present point in time. Because at a point in time, at an appointed time, and no, it does, the rapture does not have to be on a feast day, especially on a calendar that's not accurate. The warnings have been, for good reason. So at a point in time, at a divine appointment, not necessarily a feast day. Okay, that's the 188, and that's why there's two of them. 99 sheep, lost sheep. It's other 151 times because it's the 151 is this. Each way we go is 51. It's where the walls meet. And that's exactly what this is talking about. And I believe this tells us exactly where they meet. It's miscellaneous 23 times because things are wrapped up in 2023. He made a partition. It's verse 21. He makes a partition. A division in the temple by chains. Let's take a little look at that. Oh, well, we're almost going to go look at chains. He made a partition by the chains. That's number 7572, and it's used twice. The number is twice. For emphasis, it's 75 and 72. 99 sheep when Israel's 72. Things are done when Israel's 75. All sheep are home. Thus the figure to Abram. So the partition made in the temple, splitting into these two times, 72 and 75, what chains? Well, it's the only place it's used right there. And so we don't have that same exact word. But we know there's chains on the pillars painting the same picture, so let's just consider it. So we go to 1 Kings 7. Where am I? Oh. Sorry. 1 Kings 7, let's go to verse 15. For he cast 2 pillars of brass of 18 cubits high apiece, and a line of 12 cubits did compass either of them about. And he made 2 chapiters, caps, of molten brass to set upon the tops of the pillars. The height of the one was 5, the height of the other was 5, and there's our 55. And grace unto it, and Abba. And the nets of checker work, and verse 17, and the nets of checker work, and the wreaths of chain work for the chapiters which were upon the top of the pillars, 7 for the one and 7 for the other. 7 chains for the one, 7 chains for the other at exactly 42 minutes, because it's 7 seals, day of the Lord, 99 sheep when Israel 72. 7 trumpets, day of the Lord at the last trumpet, lost sheep. When Israel's 74 or 75. He made a partition in the temple of chains, or of the chains. 7 and 7. Because it's at 7 seals. The 7 is completion and perfection, okay? 7 seals is completion and perfection, full circle day of the Lord. At the first trumpet, as the trumpets begin, that point in time where the beginning becomes the end and the next beginning. And then 7 trumpets. So that point in time is where they meet, where the seals meet the trumpets. All right, well, I guess that's all we got today. All I got today. I actually have all kinds of stuff, but I don't have it ready and enough of me for today. I love you guys. Glory to God. Blessings to you.